Let's get back to what's happening in terms of trade, because it seems to be one step back, two steps forwards, or the other way round. US National Economic Council Director Larry Kudlow reassuring in the last hour to Bloomberg that there will be tariff concessions if there is a phase one trade deal. This comes after Reuters reported that China and the US plan to roll back tariffs with a new trade deal. Well, apparently that it was met with resistance in the White House. Markets have been rallying on the initial rollback news, but then taking a cut in the sign of the trade progress between the two nations. For more, let's welcome at Bloomberg News Sarah McGregor. Sarah leads the US economic policy team for Los Angeles. So the latest headline that we got was from Larry Kudlow saying, look, if we get a phase one, you will see tariffs come back, or indeed there'll be tariff concessions. What do you think that means?
So I think the big question, at least in my mind, has been for the past few weeks is what's in this for China? Why are they going to stay at the table? Why would they actually want to agree to this phase one deal? They, before they've walked away in May, they just made concessions the U.S. would no longer accept. And, that was that. The talks collapsed. So a rollback of the tariffs would actually be a really key way to keep China happy, keep them at the table. This isn't just talking about delaying new tariffs, postponing new tariffs. This is actually talking about rolling back some of the existing tariffs on $360 billion of Chinese goods, and that would be a really big win for China.
Yeah, Sarah, there's a theory out there that you hear people talk about from time to time, which is that maybe China just waits it out and hopes that Trump loses the election in about a year from now. Does rolling back the tariffs and maybe taking the boot off a little bit maybe make that strategy more likely if they feel like, well, we're already sort of getting what we want?
Absolutely, but the giant caveat to that, of course, is that the Trump administration, from what we've seen from the trade wars so far, isn't afraid to put tariffs in place. And so, if the U.S. feels like China isn't living up to its commitments, or that it's, the U.S. even might look weak in the face of a deal that's reached, they're going to hold out that possibility still of re-implementing tariffs, putting new ones in place, inflicting more pain. So, I think the Trump administration would probably say this is a goodwill gesture on their part, but they're more than willing to put them back where they started.
Sarah McGregor, thank you for the roundup on all things trade.